Welcome to this model. In this presentation, let us have an insight of frequency independent antennas. A true frequency independent antenna is physically fixed in size and operates on an instantaneous basis over a wide bandwidth with a relatively constant impedance, pattern, polarization, and gain. And beginning, while at the Ohio State University in the early 1950s, continuing from 1954 to 57 at the University of Illinois, and later at the University of California, and they were developed and introduced a new way of looking at antennas and their applications as a function of frequency. So Rumsey was intrigued with the Muskie observation in 1949 that self-complementary antennas have a constant impedance of Z0 by 2 or half the intrinsic impedance of space at all frequencies. And this is remarkable since there is an infinity of self-complementary shapes. So this frequency independent antenna can be divided into two types. One is spiral antenna or the one is log periodic antenna. Now, first, let us see about the spiral antennas. This spiral antenna, first let us have a look into equiangular spiral curve, which is represented by the equation r is equal to r naught into e power a phi. So that is shown in this figure. See here the r naught is the radius for phi is equal to 0 and a is a constant controlling the flare rate of the spiral. And left-handed spirals can be generated using negative values of A or by simply turning over the spiral of this figure. The equiangular spiral curve is used to create the antenna of this figure, which is referred to as the planar equiangular spiral antenna. The four edges of metallic region each have an equation for their curves of the form r is equal to r naught into e power a psi. And in particular, on edge number 1 is exactly so that of figure 1. So r is equal to r naught into e power a phi, and edge number 2 has the same spiral curve but rotated through an angle delta. So r2 will be equal to r naught into e power a into phi minus delta. The other half of the antenna has edges that make the structure symmetric, that is rotating one spiral arm by one half of turn brings it into congruence with the other arm. So R3 will be equal to R naught into e power a into phi minus pi, and R4 will be equal to R naught into e power a into phi minus pi minus delta. So the structure is self-complementary, that is delta is equal to pi by 2. The impedance, pattern, polarization of planar or equiangular spiral antenna remain nearly constant over a wide range of frequency. That's why it's called as frequency independent antenna. And the feed point at the center, the overall radius and the flare rate affect the performance. The flare rate is more conveniently represented through expansion ratio E, which is the increase factor of the radius for one turn of the spiral. So epsilon is equal to r into phi pi plus 2 pi divided by r of phi. That is given as r naught into e power a into phi plus 2 pi divided by r naught into a phi, which will be equal to e power a into 2 pi. The frequency at the upper end of the operating band Fu is determined by the feed structure. The low frequency limit is set by overall radius r, which is roughly a quarter wavelength at h. So spirals with 1/2 to 3 turns have been found experimentally to be relatively insensitive to the parameters A and delta. And the self-complementary equiangular spiral should have an input impedance of 188.5 ohms, and the presence of coaxial feed line that is wound along one arm toward the feed at the center is called as infinite balloon. The radiation pattern of the self-complementary planar equiangular antenna is bidirectional with two wide beams, and the field pattern is approximately cos phi when the z-axis is normal to the plane of the spiral. The half power beam is thus 90 degree. Each arm of the Archimedean spiral antenna is given by the equation r is equal to a phi, and this equation states that the radius r of the antenna increases linearly with the angle phi. So the Archimedean spiral antenna The two equations of the two spirals, r is equal to r naught into phi and r naught into phi minus pi. The Archimedean spiral is linearly proportional to the polar angle rather than the exponential for the equiangular spiral, and thus flows much more slowly. Between the feed point of a frequency independent antenna and the active region, current exists in a transmission line mode, and fields arising from them cancel in the far field. The active region occurs on that portion of the antenna that has one wavelength in circumference for curved structure and has half wavelength long elements in antennas with straight wires or edges. So beyond the active region, currents are small and having the lost power to radiation in the active region. The active region moves around the antenna with frequency. Since the geometry of a spiral is smooth and as frequency is reduced and the active region shifts no location to locations further out on the spiral, and the electrical performance remains unchanged. Hence, self-scaling occurs and frequency independent behavior results. So in this antenna, the arms are fed 180 degree out of phase at points F1 and F2, and the current is inward for arm number 1 and outward for arm number 2. The length of the arms out of F1A1, F2A2 are equal. So the phase shift from the feed to A are identical, preserving the current directions as shown in this figure. The active region, where the circumference is one wavelength, contains points labeled with the A or B. It can be assumed that the current magnitudes over the region are nearly the same. And the next type is conical equiangular spiral antenna. The non-planar forms of spiral antennas are used to produce a single main beam, thereby avoiding a backing cavity. For example, the planar equiangular spiral antenna conformed to a conical surface forms the conical equiangular spiral antenna, is shown in this figure. Here. A typical balanced two-arm Dyson conical spiral shown here. The conical spiral retains the frequency independent properties of the planar spiral while providing the broadband unidirectional circularly polarized radiation of the small end or apex of the cone. As with the planar spiral, the two arms of the conical spiral are fed at the center point or apex from the coaxial cable bounded to one of the arms. The spiral acting as a balloon. For symmetry, a dummy cable may be bonded to the other arm, and in some models, the metal straps are dispensed and the cable alone are used as spiral conductors. So according to Dyson, the input impedance is between 100 and 150 ohms for a pitch angle of alpha is equal to 17 degree and full cone angles of 20 to 60 degree. The smaller cone angles 30 or less have higher front to back ratios of radiation. And the bandwidth as with the planar spiral depends on the ratio of the base diameter of the lowest frequency to the truncated apex diameter. This ratio may be arbitrarily large. So, the equation for the conical equiangular spiral is given as r is equal to e power a sin theta h into phi, and the planar spiral is a special case of this with theta h is equal to 90 degree. And the equations for the edge of one spiral of metal for R1 is equal to, and R1 and R2 is given as e power a sin inverse of theta h into delta minus phi. And the next, let us have a look into log periodic antenna. While the planar and conical spirals were being developed, Raymond and Isbell at the University of Illinois created a new type of frequency-independent antenna with a self-complementary toothed structure that is shown on this figure. Let us see it later. And in alternative version, the metal and the slot areas are interchanged. Since beta 1 plus beta 2 is equal to 90 degree, the self-complementary conditions is fulfilled. The expansion parameter is K1 is equal to R1 plus 1 by Rn, and a tooth width parameter is K2 is equal to Rn by Rn. So the frequency range in which the log periodic antenna operates is around 30 MHz to 3 GHz, which belongs to the VHF and UHF bands. So a log periodic antenna is that whose impedance is a logarithmically periodic function of frequency. And the main advantages of a log periodic antenna is the antenna design is compact and the gain and radiation pattern are varied. according to the requirements. And the disadvantages of the log periodic antenna is that it needs external mount, and installation cost is also high. It is used in high HF communications and particular sort of TV reception, and it is also used for all-round monitoring in higher frequency bands. The radiation pattern of a log periodic antenna can be unidirectional or bidirectional depending upon the log periodic structure. The radiation towards the shorter element of which is of considerable amount, whereas in the forward direction it is small or zero. So this is the diagram below shows the radiation pattern of the log periodic antenna. For bidirectional log periodic antenna, the maximum radiation is in broadside, which is normal to the surface of the antenna. Suppose we design an antenna system that works at some frequency Fn, and where n is the subscript, so we can number different elements in the antenna. Suppose if we set up the antenna system as shown in this figure, and where the wires of length L, Ln, Ln plus 1 each separated by a set of distance dn plus minus 1, dn and dn plus 1. That is shown in this figure. Therefore, the arrangement should be such that Ln plus 1 divided by Ln should be equal to dn n plus 1 by dn. That should be a constant k. And this is the log periodic structure. Suppose that our antenna radiates well at frequency Fn, then the antenna must also radiate at Fn plus 1 and Fn minus 1, because the antenna structure is electrically the same. It looks the same too. So if the antenna radiates at frequency Fn, it will radiate at all frequencies that are at constant multiple of Fn. That is Fn by k squared, Fn by k, Fn k into Fn, k squared into Fn. So mathematically, due to the properties of logarithms, if all the elements grow by a constant multiple, then the ratios of the logarithm will be constant. So log of Fn plus 1 by Fn is equal to log k, which is equal to log of dn plus 1 by d, which is true for every n. And the log period to the antenna have the structure like this. It is actually the extension of about antenna. Thank you.